Hello, everybody. Welcome to the global party, healing from the inside out, and you are in the right place at the right time. And there's only one person that I feel that could kick this off, and that's Shaman Rocky. Shaman Ra, it says right on the screen. Yes.
Thank you, Jacqueline. What a kind, generous, and warm welcome. Thank you so much. I am so honored to be with all of you and with lovely Jacqueline. Thank you. Gratitude. And namaste.
Namaste. Yes.
Namaste.
So on this journey over the next, the rest 12 hours there will be a variety of speakers coming off, but the best way to start it off is with a lovely mantra meditation, healing and peace. We're just going to follow your lead. Then we'll go from there and we're going to trust the conversation because we know a lot of you are feeling a variety of things, and we're going to be that light to share with you. It's really all okay. So let's begin with you. Where would you like to start?
So with a mantra, it is a Sanskrit mantra. It is one line which says Loka. You can write it down, or I think it's best to write down if you have if you have a pen and paper, or just on the screen. We will repeat it 3 times.
Okay.
So,
how do I spell
Loka, which is Loka, Samasta, Sa, Masta, Samasta. Yes. Sukhino, Su, Khino, Sukhino.
Okay. Somehow my chat isn't working. Why are my comments posting? Okay, so that's not where I can't. Maybe it is typing.
Can I also write it somewhere?
I'm typing it in to put in the chat. We can type it. So that's what I'm attempting to do. And so if anybody's seeing it, because one point it's saying it's seen, and another point it's saying, I think on my Facebook page it's being seen. So if you're on my Facebook page, you're seeing it and you're with us. If you're on my profile page and you're seeing this, I think it's, oh yes, Diana's got it. Diana's typing it in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. BHA, VA, Bhavan, NTU, Bhavantu. I will translate this as well.
Yes.
It means, may all beings in all worlds be happy, which very clearly says that there are many worlds, there are many people, and it truly is necessary that each person is happy. So it very clearly, again, it says that we are in this together. We are not alone. We are in this together.
Oh, can you feel that? I can feel that just by you saying that, the presence of those words, right? It's so heartfelt.
Thank you. Thank you.
And so, Shweta, everybody's translating, so we're all good. Okay, so
great.
We can feel it. We can feel the presence. We'll work on the word.
Yes, and if it is difficult, that is also why I translated. So you can also just simply say the English version, and that's good too. So we will chant this 3 times.
Okay.
I will be chanting in Sanskrit, but people who are chanting along, you can simply say it in English as well. And after that, we will say Om. That is easy, right? Om is the sound of our universe. And why I picked Om and also the other small mantra is because it's easy for everybody to grasp, to understand. And it's a very universal mantra and also a very universal sound. When you touch your heart and when you say Om, you don't have to associate that sound with any religion, even though it is connected to Hindus. Hinduism in itself is just a way of life. So it is not a religion. So this is for everybody. And again, when you say Om and when you chant Om, try to focus on your third eye. Because when you do that, you are really strengthening your connection to the universe. And this is a time that we really must look into ourselves and cultivate our spiritual side, strengthen our spiritual side. And as you know, we are the universe. So when you connect to that power, we are reconnecting to our own power. So I have my drum here. Shall we start?
Yes, please.
Yes. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. So now let's.
I was going to say, can you feel the energy and the presence that brings? Do you have a natural glow within you? Do you notice the difference in yourself when you say that because you're so naturally present? Can you hear
So
me?
now,
Okay.
So now we can continue with Om. We can also just simply focus on our third eye and we can say Om in our heart. And when we are collectively chanting Om, we will make everything that we are feeling in our hearts and also everything that we want to bring outside even more. So let's dive in and chant Om. And when you're ready, just gently open your eyes. I see you again, Jacqueline. Welcome back.
I just felt like you needed to be full screen.
Oh, I was just thinking, oh, okay, I don't see Jacqueline anymore. And I'm not someone who knows a lot of these things. So I just thought, oh, she will appear again. I just have to trust that as well.
Well, isn't that kind of what's going on right now? We have to trust what comes inside us versus what we've been used to looking outside ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, this whole time has been a great teacher. I think, like all of us, we know that for hundreds and thousands of years, wise people, wise teachers have always guided us, always taught us to not neglect, do not violate our planet, our home, because that is us. And for all the arrogance and ignorance and cruelty that we have been doing, we have been really only living that way for the last so many years. So in one way, this is bound to happen. What did we expect when we set the lungs of our planet on fire, the Amazon? What did we expect, right? When that was happening, I remember that I was really feeling a lot of emotions rising up and really feeling, oh, this is really bad. This is just really bad. And then right after that, the fires in Australia. And so every time a fire happens like that on that scale, it really shows how far we have gone. And so I was in one way not surprised that we have come to this. Yes, it is an extremely challenging, demanding, and heartbreaking time. So many lives have lost, and so many people are in great misery right now, confused and losing hope. But what did we expect? Right? What did we expect? Did we think that we are the most powerful beings here and we reached up a certain peak? And I feel that from there, when you have reached the top of it, you can only come down. You cannot go up, right? And that's exactly how I feel now. Like, okay, now we are called, we are forced to sit down with ourselves, sit down with our children, sit down with our family, just sit down and look at ourselves. This is a time for a lot of people, self-discovery. They will discover a lot of things about themselves, their partners, their children. It is just that's a start. That is really the start of it, right? Because people don't give that time to themselves and to their families anymore, because we are all conditioned to believe that we lack something, that we are not enough, that nothing we do is good enough. We should aim more. We should, have everything bigger and brighter and more and more. So because of that drive, we have been on a survival mode for hundreds and hundreds of years. So finally now all of us will have to sit down and ask what is important. what is the most important thing in my life, that it is life itself. Because this whole teacher, this Corona teacher, is actually bringing us that awareness of this present moment. We have to be mindful, right? I'm sure. I see you nodding, and that's what we have to be mindful. Millions of people are suddenly forced to pick up mindfulness. They think, oh wow. I mean, that's how I actually feel that, yeah, you have to be mindful about what you do. Even just washing your hands, it's just amazing, right? You are, yes, just washing hands and everything about leaving your shoes at the door and your clothes, and starting from very basic things of cleanliness to resilience to
Walking two
yes,
meters apart.
discipline. To it touches a lot of different spiritual practice.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of spiritual practice. So when people ask me, I get very interesting emails sometimes. People asking me, "Oh, how is it for you?" And I tell them I saw very nice jokes about it. Also, mostly very creative introverts. I think they're making these really fun, fun posters and videos. And one of them I saw was this little monkey, and I thought, oh, that's just my face right now. It was so cute. It just says that, oh, so my normal lifestyle has a name. That's quarantine. So I was just really laughing, and I thought, yeah, because except for the people I serve, people I meet, for to help, I don't see many people on a daily basis. It's just very recently that I really started just meeting a small group of people. But other than that, oh, I don't. And I think, oh, it's just so personally for me, especially looking at it from a social, yeah, my social life is this. So I don't see much of a difference.
Right.
I'm just, yes, of course, I'm sad to see that it affects a lot of people because they're not used to the silence. They are not used to just doing simple, beautiful, meaningful small things. I think my biggest practice always has been working with the small things, looking at the small things
Right.
in life because they are always the big things, right? So yes.
Oh, hold on. Let's just stay with that for a second because that's a big thing. The small comment you just made is a very big thing. That the small things are really the big things. So you've been practicing this basically your whole life. And those that have been on a spiritual journey have, as you say, being mindful, have learned to say, be mindful when you're washing your hands. That's a simple spiritual practice. And now everybody that didn't ever want to be mindful, that never thought they needed to be mindful, is being forced to be mindful. Like, it is hilarious.
Yes, yes, in a way, yes, absolutely, right? Yes. So in one way, I think, yeah, Earth has been, our planet, our mother has been calling and crying and begging to look at the finer things, look at what is of value. But we kept on refusing. We were violating her in every possible way, in all continents, everywhere. We were just violating. And now she has to force us. She has to, like a mother, like really like a mother. We are grounded. We are grounded now. It's almost like, telling the kid, okay, go to your room. You are grounded. It's like that. She just basically like, okay, all of you just stay inside. So
because you're used to being, as you say, like me, more, we've already been self-isolating, in that sense. I have been out in the forest here, and I come across people that are just noticing little things that they're doing that, as you say, they're now in their space. So when you hear from people that are emailing you, what are some of the things that they're noticing already about whether are they resisting noticing or are they enjoying noticing?
Mostly I have only had pleasant emails in that way. People just are surprised and just writing and saying, "Oh wow, it's been great," or "It's just yeah now we do stuff as a family in a different way," and especially because the schools are also closed, and this is a very different situation for each one of us. So, but I see that people are coping in a good way. I think a lot of them can actually see the beauty in it as well. Just loving each other more, just giving more cuddles, and just cooking together, or preparing the garden together, or sowing new seeds there, or just reading stories, or just laughing and dancing more. And I think it makes people realize that our biggest needs are far away from the things that we used to think that is important. So that mad rush for everything brighter and bigger and better is not what we actually are about. So I think that has been a nice revelation for a lot of people. So it's almost like they write me, and of course, in the initial days, it was a lot of fear and a lot of confusion. And slowly, I started seeing that, and I must thank all coaches and healers and everybody who has been writing in the past few days, especially, just bringing hope, just spreading more hope and love. And that is also why I was very excited to hop on board when you asked me. Also because yes, we need to share this more, so that there will be more peace, there will be more hope, there will be more strength, which each one of us can bring out and spread it in our family and in with whoever we are connecting online or via phone call. Just help each other to remind each other that this definitely is a difficult situation, but it is teaching us a lot. So let's learn together.
Yes. And it is this, I feel everybody is learning whatever they need to learn, right?
Yes.
Like
Absolutely.
we could not planned it any better.
Mm-hmm.
That Mother Nature's taken over and is allowing each of us to have our experience. Yes. And that's my experience. Some people might have been resistant or concerned in the beginning, but as they start to pay more attention, mindfulness with themselves, they realize there's a lot of benefits. That if they're feeling the release in their body, the stress is starting to go because they aren't having to go to work. They're not having to get their kids ready to go to school. They're not dropping them off at the daycare. There's a lot of knots they're not doing anymore. And it is like a forced meditation retreat.
Yes, a forced meditation retreat. But yes, I agree with you completely on that, and I am also sure that it helps people to step down from the ego ladder. In one way, for a lot of us, it is also necessary. It's almost like the world has brought us to our knees. And sometimes it is necessary. As you know, our nature, we are wild beings. So this is in one way, when you don't move in a certain flow with the universe, you need to be ready when something comes back and hit you, when then you are on your knees. And I think that is also helping a lot of people to see that we are not in charge here. We are not in charge. And so, yes, the ego hurts to know that, no, okay, I have no control. But it is also necessary. So I think that in that way, this whole time is teaching people many things in many different ways. Because one kind of an approach is not applicable for everybody, right? Especially people who have had everything in a controlled way, people who have had a lot of pleasure in controlling everything and people around. This actually shows them that they were not in charge. They were really, that was a complete illusion that they that they thought that they were in charge. So it's nice to wake up and realize that this moment is all we have today. That is it. So there is no, there might be no tomorrow. So I feel and I hope with all my heart that that will stay with each one of us, that we realize that there could be no tomorrow. Maybe this is it. So then we will learn to do everything we want today. And that doesn't mean anything materialistic. That means very simple and basic, and everything you need is right here. I've always been someone who is of the heart. So for me, everything we need is here within. So it's time to go inwards.
And that is, I guess, what you were saying is the people that have the illusion of control, or they have it, it was out there that they had it, right? And people were always looking outside of themselves for something.
Mm-hmm.
Outside to find the love, outside to find the money, outside to find satisfaction or distraction. Mm-hmm. You know, the sports teams. I mean, I think of all the men that have all this free time. You know, that was their whole thing, and you know, they're like, what do I do? See, we couldn't. Mm-hmm.
It's painful. Yes,
mm-hmm. It is painful, but it's what we couldn't have. This is what I'm amazed at: is you couldn't have forced people without everything shutting down mm-hmm. to then say, "Oh, you live in my house. Oh, I didn't even know you."
It's like, oh, hi. Yeah, you are here too.
Yeah. Yes. So
that's the biggest. I feel that the biggest challenge we have here, as one of, I don't know everything, so I can only speak from one side. I feel that the challenge here is to know that we are everything and we are nothing. So the challenge is to find a balance between that, to really understand that we are everything, but we are also nothing. So when you are trying to be somewhere in the middle, you will see that you will have more flow. You will understand that you don't have to worry about grabbing all the cords and trying to compete. And there is nothing to compete. Each one of us, we are here, we do things the way our natural flow is like. So when I see the talks between science and spirituality and religion and different things right now, I'm still curious. I'm still wondering who is busy with this. Who is busy with creating differences right now? That person must be miserable. That particular person must be really, really sad inside. That person must be feeling so much lack to compete, to differentiate, to box things. Even at a time like this, this is a time to wake up and really understand that we don't have to compete with any philosophy, any religion, any spirituality, any kind of healing, or any person. Each person has value. A doctor, a cleaner, a nurse, a supermarket, a helper. Each person has a value. Let's try to leave the status game somewhere else. Let's just drop that. We are seeing who is running this society right now, and the of course I have a lot of respect to everybody who is in all kinds of fields, but there has been a kind of war going on against people who are just laborers or having a normal, small, humble living. But that is fading away right now. I hear that, I read that a lot. People saying an extra thank you when they're in the supermarket, or when they're looking at a cashier and thinking, oh wow, you're sitting here all day and I'm just going back into my hole where I'm going to hide.
Mhm.
So you see how brave people are, how we are as humans. That's what each one of us should remember, how brave and beautiful and wise and loving and kind and compassionate we are. As that's our nature. That's who we are. We don't have to compete. We don't have to waste any of our time on this beautiful planet. We should coexist with everything and just learn to love more. Let's spread more love.
I've just popped. Can you see Christine?
Yes. Hi, Christine.
Christine is in Ireland. Christine, can you hear us? Darling, you're moving around. I don't know if you can hear us.
Oh, hi. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Yes. Yes.
Hi, Shaman. Hi, Jacqueline.
Hi, namaste. Hi, Christine.
So did you just hear the last part that Reiki Shaman was saying about the fact that the so-called people that are on the front lines, the workers, the nurses, the persons picking up the garbage, have been, the laborers have been previously sort of considered, and now they're the ones that, we're realizing every person is valuable, and they are the ones that are serving us right now and being the brave ones and bringing the brave souls.
Sure. Yeah, I just tuned in a couple of minutes ago, so I heard that bit, part of the conversation. And yeah, it's interesting how we're all witnessing the same from different nationalities, the same behavior, and I guess from different perspectives for sure. But also as one arising consciousness, and it's pulling the thread together, isn't it? It's really pulling us closer.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. I'm getting these heart flutters right now, seeing the three of us on screen, because I'm like, Canada, Netherlands, Ireland, and our heads are nodding. We're like, we're all coming together.
Oh.
And it's just like, whoa, the emotion that's coming up in my heart right in this moment, looking at the three of us, is wow. This is what's happening all around the world. Hearts are opening and connecting.
Absolutely.
Because as we go within, we discover we are everybody. And I see me and you, both of you. This is like very, I think I'm transformed right now.
Oh, yeah, it's like it's reminding me of, like a concert when somebody lights the first lighter and then all the lighters.
Yes,
there's a
yes,
whole
something like that. Yeah.
Stadium of lights. Yeah, so lovely image.
In one way, maybe we needed this kind of a wake-up call where each one of us will be just sitting back at home and feeling the same things, asking the same things. I'm always wondering, are people really taking the time to ask, okay, what is the most important thing for me? Was it, what was I doing before this? What was I so worried? What worried me the most? Was it my health? Was it my wealth? Was it the connections that I didn't have, or the connections that I did have? Or, it's time to really look at all that and see what is of value, of actual value to us. Right.
And most of it will be discovered that it has no value. It's like I was sharing earlier, the woman who said to me in the push, she goes, yeah, well, I realized I don't need so much money. I was concerned first about my job, right? And she goes, but I'm not spending any money. And I really think of all the industries that have been created just to support the person going to work. The drive here, the grab the cup of coffee, the dry cleaning, I got to drop the cleaning, the makeup industry. I say, for instance, people might still wear makeup, but when we're all at home, we're not having to do the same thing. I can you can put your baseball hat on if you need to, or wear a different scarf, right? You can minimalize. And we realized that all those industries that were just supporting the idea that we had to go outside ourselves to create that.
Yes.
And I know on an everyday experience, any type of kind of interrupter that makes you think or just tune in to your awareness is always a gift. And so to see it on a large scale is just an expansion of that, really. And I'm not tuned in or resourceful to see that every second of every day, but more and more, and less distractions at the minute, because it's brought to attention, more moments of the day each day. So yeah, it's certainly a gift.
Absolutely. The silence.
Is it your are you in a major city then, Shaman?
No. I'm in a little city. Even though they call it a city, I personally feel that it's a small town. Dutch people might not like that I'm saying that, but it is a little town, especially when you compare it to cities in India or in any other part of the world. Because Netherlands is a lovely little country. So I feel that every city is still very compact and small. So I live near the forest and the dunes and kind of in the middle of the country. So it is also, because it's a small country, it's also not very far from Amsterdam. It's just 1 hour from Amsterdam. So I don't feel that I'm far from a big city. There's also Rotterdam, which is, I think, 45 minutes from here. So yeah, but it's usually very quiet in my town.
And Christine, you're out in the country, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm really near a town, but yet like half an hour walk from a town, but yet very remote where I live. So just when you were talking there, I just came into mind that contrast or that swap with connection with people, that before connection would have been more kind of, I guess, intentional or obvious inside, when you're inside in a supermarket or shop, and now people are inside and more of rules and protection. Outside for a person that's across the street or walking up everybody's each other.
Yeah. Christine, you might have to, it might be your little bit of internet connection, just you've kind of frozen.
It's telling me to go closer to Wi-Fi, to my router, so I'm going to
as you move
try and do that.
The Wi-Fi, I will just share that being that I'm back, I was guided to come back to Toronto. And people, when I was in Costa Rica, were saying, and to me, why would you go back to Toronto in March? It's cold. And, you know, I could stay until April. And I was like, because my guidance told me to go back, right? And of course, my guidance all knew what was happening, right? And so I came back March 3rd, well ahead of everything that was about to transpire. But where I am in sort of the central part of the city, it's like Christmas Day all the time now in terms of the quietness. And that's what so many people are recognizing. You don't have all the planes flying over all the time.
Mhm.
Cars aren't driving back and forth. So where I've had that experience traveling or being in Prince Edward Island, or like you guys are having in the quieter spaces, the people in the cities are getting that experience of quiet also. You know, so it's the noise outside their house isn't there the same way either.
And it's like, you know, when you have an air conditioner running in the background and you don't notice it until it switches off, and then you go, ah.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that frenzy has stopped, and it's kind of, oh, that level of relaxation and that openness for awareness, you know, is yeah, it's really poignant, isn't it?
Yes.
It's amazing.
So Sophie from Germany has, see, we're so diverse here. This is also cool. So she just commented, so I'm going to read it to you. This moment of international slowdown, at least for some, it's more hectic than ever. It serves as a deep and deeper reflection, realigning to purpose and values, which will together serve the greater good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think,
Thank you, Sophie.
yes, this is where I feel this needs to just keep gathering momentum, because I believe every single person, when we allow them the presence to go within, because our hearts to hearts are connected, when we hold that space that they have what they need, that they can trust what they can stop listening to everything out there, and they'll be guided to the choices, what needs to happen. And most definitely there is going to be some deaths and there's going to be suffering, but that's always been part of life, right? It's just that we're all really aware of it right at this moment, the circle of life.
Yes. Yes. And I think it also really showed us that what happens or what happened in another country, you know, initially we would just be able to leave it like that and say, oh, it happened in Syria, or it happened in Korea or China. But now we see that there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries at all. We are really in this together. So what happens there is also felt right here. So we are made to feel, I think our connections are getting deeper because of this. So we are feeling, people know how someone else in some part of the world feels, that terror and that fear and panic and all of the initial and also the later responses we know. A lot of people were also saying, oh, so this is how refugees were feeling. This is what happened when there was a war. At least we can all, you know, sit out in the sunshine and there are no bombs falling, and it's completely, in that way it's really a piece of cake, right? This quarantine is groceries are coming to the door if you want, or you can just go out and your family is so much more safer. You know, there is no, of course there is this invisible enemy, but it's in a different way. So I feel that many people are also slowly feeling that, oh, okay, this is what people go through when there is war.
Right.
Because this is also a situation like that in one way, where we are. Yeah, we don't know where the enemy is, right? For a lot of people, even though this virus is a great teacher in my eyes, it is still the greatest enemy for many people. So yes, we learn.
And I think I just have to say, so it's like the two sides to the coin, right? It's the two sides. So one side can be perceived as the enemy, or it can be perceived is the gift.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
the idea again that it's out there, right?
Mhm.
It's like, again, it comes back to in here.
Yes.
And when we come back to in here, we get different answers.
Yes.
And as you were saying about like Syria, for instance, I met a woman the other day and she said, well, we really could set down all essential services. She was in the Bay. She really could. She goes, my parents were in Syria during the war, 5 years, no water, no electricity. She goes, this is peanuts, you know?
Yes. Yes. This is what I heard as well. Yes. And I yes, I can imagine. Yes. So and I also saw something again on social media. Someone had posted. I don't know who wrote it, but I thought it was brilliant. That I think it was particularly directed to the Dutch or Europeans in that way, that our grandparents were called, our grandfathers were called for war.
Yeah.
You are just asked to sit down on your couch.
Right.
So we can do this. Like we can totally do it. And it's true. We are in still, I feel that we are in the lap of luxury. We have everything we need. Also, if you look at it like that, of course, within us, and also when you look around in our homes, we have everything. So I hope that all of us will collectively start really rethinking our choices of consuming things and how conscious we are about our choices in life. And I always feel that we always have a choice. So also during this time, we have a choice if we want to go outside with this, as in, really not focusing inside and just projecting it outside and just crying and suffering and being in that suffering and drowning there, or really take time to look inside and see what we can do to make this better. What can we do together? What kind of choices will we make as a community, as a race, as a collective, as a whole, as a global citizen, the citizen of this world? I think that is what is asked of us right now, to really stop and think and make choices.
And maybe the fear of the unknown has been unveiled for us, so that choice exists, or we can admit the choice again.
Yeah.
Because we can all do that, have that in our personal experience, but as a collective and a global experience of having that fear of the unknown unveiled, it's like we have a choice together. And we get a chance to look at mortality, and where we have kind of sanitized fear of death and end and things like that, and doom. We're kind of confronted with it, and it's illuminated for us to have a look at what we're reflecting. And yeah, it's amazing, really, isn't it? It really is.
Absolutely.
Touching.
We couldn't have planned it any better, really, really. I mean, like to have everything shut down and to have everybody notice something about themselves, like all the personal development work, all the mindfulness retreats, all the stuff that everybody's ever done. We've all said, oh, that person could really use that, right? And they now get it, but it wasn't the way we would have thought. It wasn't because we kept saying, you do this, no, you need to. No, it's just like, it's amazing. And that's what I love about Mother Nature and about life, is for me, life is in the moment. It's in that moment. That's life, because it's a new moment. I think most people were existing in something. They weren't really living, and hence that's why there's the fear of death is what's catapulting them back into the truth of being present to the moment and the gift of life. I also feel like you know, it says it has to do with lungs, right? You talked about the forest burning, the lungs of our planet, and in every breath we have life. So isn't it interesting that that enemy is again about getting present to the breath and going, where is it
Yes.
affecting us?
Mhm.
There are so many gifts in this experience, and I feel the more we share about this and we stay present to it and we each impact our communities, it is going to see a wonderful exponential ripple effect because people will turn the heart. I just call it like it's like a reset. It's software upgrade 14.13. If
Yes.
you accept
Yes, it is a reset. Yes, and it's beautiful. I'm sure all of you are watching these kind of beautiful images of dolphins swimming in the canals in Venice, and all these birds singing in Wuhan, and it's just so beautiful to see. And I truly, truly pray that all of us will remember that what can happen when we just take a small step back, a really small step back. What if we would just continue to do this? It's like a new exercise, you know, like 2 days in a week. We are going to do just this. 2 days a week.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Right? I think there was a reason why years ago, uh, in all countries, you know, even though we don't really belong to one particular land. We belong everywhere, but still in each country there was this particular day that people were asked to rest, and I think that should come back in a much bigger way. Just please, just rest. Just rest so that everything around you can bloom, and yourself as well. You will bloom when you rest, when you take a little step back, and then you will allow everything around you to flourish as well. So I'm really trying to focus on sending, you know, messages and chanting really for that kind of a life on planet will come, where leaders will take that kind of decisions, which is good for every living being here and not just a few, because we are sharing this mother planet.
It's really setting the environment.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful. Love driven, very love driven. And I'm just thinking, an image when you're talking is just coming to me about like the contradiction, you know, the human race, I suppose, in that racing aspect, and we're all out micromanaging our bins to try and solve issues and maybe judging what everybody else is doing to help the earth. Whereas when we relax, it all just expands and generates and appreciates.
Yes, and that is the
resting.
beauty, right? Yes. We think that we have to do more and more and more. Yes, in one way, yes, we have to clean up more. I would say, yes, that would be great. But the earth is such an intelligent mother. She is the most intelligent spirit. She knows exactly what to do. So we don't have to control even that. We just need to learn to take a step back.
I must admit, I felt a little of that old egotistical feminine thing when you said, "Mother, she knows how to take care of everything." I was like, "Yep, that's it."
It is true, right?
And so, what would let's how about each of you share three things, or whatever comes to you, but the idea of what would be 3 things you would recommend for somebody to get mindful of right now, if they haven't already been spurred onto it. What would you encourage them to do?
Do I go first?
Sure.
Yes. Accepting. I would say first one is acceptance, and the second one is definitely surrender for me. And the third one is also really resting, just do it consciously. Because when you accept the situation as it is, then you are really almost like you're activating the wise woman or man in you. When you're really just sitting back and saying, okay, this is what it has come to. I am taking my responsibility. So you are in a powerful position there. You are not sitting at home hiding. I don't want anyone to do that. I want each one of us to feel powerful, resilient, have that courage, and say, yes, this is what we have brought down upon us collectively. This is what we've been doing. Bring it on. It is okay. I am accepting. So it's really the relationship with your mother or your grandmother, your great grandmother, just saying, okay, mother or grandmother, I did wrong. And now you are putting me in my place. And I am accepting this. So when you feel it and when you really can understand that, then it's easier for us to surrender into that flow of the natural flow of life, the circle of life that will go on. And we are really playing a very, very small part in this big, beautiful play. And then we understand that this ego is nothing. That I dissolves into that surrender. I dissolves into just simply being, because we know that nothing is in our hands. So that is why surrender. And then I always feel that, at least for me, I'm also laughing at myself when I feel it, because just when I think that I have surrendered really well, and that's when I know that I have to surrender even more. So that just, you are continuously learning, so that just keeps going on and on in my life. Then I'm always just smiling at myself and thinking, oh, okay, so I'm just going down again. I'm just really going to surrender even more. And I'm sure that that is the experience with a lot of us. And the third one, of course, being mindful and be conscious, of course, be alert, be responsible, but also don't forget to dance, don't forget to sing, don't forget to love and kiss and connect to yourself, and connect to whoever you can connect right now. Doesn't matter. We are so lucky that we have this online technology.
Yeah.
We have this technology. We are so blessed. So use it. Call that friend that you have not spoken in a long time, or just send funny messages to your parents, and just do all that.
Yes. I just want to know, someone you know very well, Shweta, was just saying, oh, incredible. Even a sweet shaman has to surrender. Thank you.
People are always happy when they hear it from me. And I am always happy to share my experience. And yes, Shweta, yes, everybody is learning. There are no exceptions. When people look at me, they always think that, oh, she's just sitting someplace else. And I always am very extremely happy and open to share my own practice, and also to tell them that the day I think that I've learned it all, that's when I will be finished.
Yeah, then there will be.
I will rot, because then there is no growth for me. So I'm always telling my guides, always talking to my mother, saying, teach me what I don't know. Teach me what I can do better. Teach me to allow more flow and love into my life. So we are always learning.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that's very beautiful.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
what is anything
Yeah,
coming to you?
so how
Or is it
is my
like,
connection?
okay, that was great.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Things just okay. So wow, that was how could I add, how could I expand that more if I was to? Breath is just the first thing. Relearning to breathe every day. Relearning how to breathe, how to allow the infinite knowledge that is just there in the air for free for us to flow in, and to kind of wake up not knowing anything, and to allow that breath, the flow, and allow it to expand and echo. I find uh, my experience expands through the breath is my biggest teacher, and from there I personally get to know yourself. Take the time to get to know who you are as a human here. What makes you tick and what makes you light up and where's your joy? And I guess whilst now we're kind of taken away from a lot of the distractions of the everyday, we might think we're fueled by coffee and that we need this and that. We need to have our hair done and our makeup done. And that maybe what is the joy in the feeling, in the emotion, and maybe to spend some time there. Um, Personally, I love to play with that through creativity. And so I'm a big fan of journaling, and I went from words to colors. So I draw every day. So just like honoring the energy of where I'm at and allowing that to download on the page for me acknowledges the flow, acknowledges that I want more joy, that I'm focusing there, and I'm open to, to that wherever it goes through the day. So to start each day from scratch, that's how I like
Oh,
to
beautiful.
think that I will every day, and getting closer and closer there. And the more that I practice these things, the more I see that I'm just admitting what the abundance of what is there and all that joy that, you know, via different traumas and whatever has happened up to now, that sometimes I draw the curtains on. And so I like to open up the curtains by just doing those things that work for me to allow that light in, and illuminate how to expand and generate that joy. For first me, then to flow out to you girls and further and beyond. So yeah, those would be my personal kind of biggest things that work for me.
Oh,
And
beautiful.
thanks for allowing me to express them.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank
I
you.
You're welcome.
did my best
Beautiful.
to try and type them out as you guys were sharing. So those that, come by and read versus may not see the whole interview will get some ideas that come by. I just realized, see, so now that I've done individual links for things, so Anel was going to come in. So I try. Here's the surrender. This is this moment of technology and how things go. So we can close off and we can come back on a new one, and we can pop in if you want to come back in and pop into that conversation or any of the other conversations during the day. You are more than welcome, because I can just feel like if we all just came together kumbaya all the time, it would just people would go, what are they talking about now? What that thing? We're all just in heaven, we've become more, we've surrendered, we're finding the joy, we're opening up, we're encountering each other in ourselves, and we're realizing everything really is here.
Yes, yes. This is the paradise that each one of us was always looking for, right? It's right here. It's Earth. That's heaven. Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you
And
Thank you.
and opening it up and setting the tone, and And okay. No, you don't have to go if you don't want to, because Anel just arrived, so she can just pop right up in here and we can just keep it going. It's up to you. You all know what you need to do.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, I would love to. I would love to give everybody the chance to share everything that they want to share, and I would support and love and cheer from from the other side. So now it looks really big, like this side and the other side. So anyway, yes, but thank you so much. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for organizing this. Yes, thank you so much.
I just was the instrument. That's all. It's, you know, we all are following what we're guided to do. So have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you so much, and it was wonderful to
Jacqueline.
meet you, Christine. Thank you.
And you, Shaman. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.